What's up, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.
Here from the Top 10, I am John Roca.
And I am Matt Nose. This is a show that we do for our patrons over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And they send in whatever they'd like us to talk about. We don't know what it is in advance. We just answer them as they come in. And John, I believe it's your turn to start.
Okay, let me start it off here with our guy from Down Under, Tim Williams. He says, "Good day, blokes. That's terrible. Hope everything is well. A bit of a sad one this time around. Last week, March 4th, one of the greatest cricketers of all time, Shane Warne, passed away at age 52. He transcended the sport. He was our Michael Jordan in cricket terms, type of guy you wanted to have beer with him, and also women loved him. He was once married to Elizabeth Hurley. Wow. Anyways, I found out the news from Twitter at 1 a.m. after watching The Batman. Now forever, Shane's death will be linked to The Batman for me. So my question is, where were you at some of the moments that shocked the nation or the world? Wow, 9/11, Kobe's death, or any others? Thanks again, fellas. Hooroo, Timothy R. Williams. Oh, Matt, I don't envy you starting out on this
one. Well, let's see. 9/11, I woke up and I turned on the TV and it was already happening.
Yes.
I saw the
West Coast people, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the second plane hit.
Oh, yes.
I was just watching and it happened to be, on CNN.
Right.
I was in college, so I went to class and the second plane hadn't hit yet and showed up to class and everybody was just kind of in a daze.
Yeah.
And professor showed up and was like, "We're going to cancel. There's no point in doing this today."
We're done here right now.
Well, it's just everybody was kind of like walking around and what's going on? And I knew a ton of people from New York.
Right.
So, my first thought was like, oh my God, like, how are they doing? Do they know anybody that's in the middle of all this? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody firsthand. Thank God that were there.
Yeah.
That were, directly impacted by it. Secondhand, if I asked around, I'm sure, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that. And then Kobe was just a quiet Sunday.
Yeah.
And suddenly the reports came in and it was surreal. It's like, what? Kobe's 41 years old. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It came out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Yeah.
I mean, he's, the weird thing is he's one of only a couple MVPs that have passed away in the NBA.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. Almost every MVP is still alive.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it shows you how old the sport is too. I mean,
right.
But still, we're talking about some of the earliest winners are still around. I mean, there's very few that have passed away. I think it's like 3, maybe 4.
Well, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and Kobe is, one of them. Trying to think of what other massive. I mean, there are some that I don't want to get into a discussion of.
Okay. Which is all right.
Yeah, like January 6th, I don't want to talk about.
Right. You don't want to
and stuff like that. It's just like they're, only frustration and madness that way lies. Let's see.
Yeah.
Like what other shocking celebrity passings or.
Yeah, I mean, well, real quick, just to chime in on 9/11, same thing with Matt. Woke up that morning. My best friend was visiting from Virginia. He's the one that woke me up because apparently my mother had called frantically and left voicemail messages. At the time, we had a voicemail machine at the time. That's how old that was. And he woke me up and he was visiting from Virginia. We watched it all day. And my friend tried to go to work who I was living with at the time. He tried to go to work and I didn't understand why he was going to work. I'm like, why are you going to work? What are you doing? And he says, I don't know. I just have to kind of go. And so I was like, okay. He went over there and within an hour or two, he was back and said they sent everybody home because, it just was too shocking and scary. And at that time in LA, there was rumors that they were targeting LA, buildings in LA or prominent buildings in LA or areas of LA. There were all kinds of crazy rumors that day. So, yeah. And as for Kobe, we were in Sprouts. Lily and I were shopping on Sprouts, the one over there in on Ventura. Oh, no, on Olympic, the one over there on Olympic, way down a little bit further down. And I remember I saw the tweet and I was like, bullshit. And then I went and looked to find people who were verified to see if it was true. And then I just remember just standing still and watching everyone just kind of moving around the Sprouts. But I was just like, I couldn't process it because he's so young, as you said, Matt, young, 41 years old. You're just like, what? And the manner in which it happened and the madness of it all, the helicopter, all of that, it just was crazy. So I just remember just standing there for like a good 10 minutes in the like bulk food section, just reading the responses, trying to really verify if it's true or not, then
Mhm.
accepting that it's true and seeing people's like reactions on Twitter. Then they had to come up to me and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I had to tell her, she's like, "Oh my God." So it was just that kind of reaction to it all. So yeah, like I mean, I don't remember Elvis too much. I kind of remember John Lennon watching the Monday Night Football. That's when they announced it.
Mhm.
I remember that, but I didn't really grasp it.
Yeah, that's before my time.
Yeah, yeah. And then the Challenger, I remember that being in school and seeing it like
Yeah.
through the window walking to class because we had those kind of open cubicle classes where I was in Virginia. And I remember seeing the TV on in one classroom and people were watching it, and all of a sudden, boom. And then you're like, what the fuck just happened? And the reaction in class was just insane. So those are the things that jump out at me that I remember in terms of shocking passings. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna say that we were watching the Challenger in class
Mm-hmm.
because it was
Oh,
built
okay.
up, um,
Right.
because, well, they had a teacher on there, so it's like a
Right.
tie to, "Oh, there's, stuff for, kids to latch onto and some inspirational story," and then it exploded, but,
Yeah.
like, I didn't fully understand. I knew it exploded and the people weren't there anymore,
Right. Right.
but
Right.
it
Right.
didn't really set in, I guess. Uh, I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Now, you're, I mean, a couple years older than me. Do you remember where you were when Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated?
Yeah, a bit shocking. A bit
Yeah,
shocking.
yeah, it was.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's a bit
Oh
shocking.
man, Princip took
Uh,
a shot.
yeah, I had no idea Ray Fiennes was there too. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean,
That's true. Sitting shotgun.
shotgun, letting it happen. But yeah, no, that was shocking. The Lusitania was shocking.
Oh man, the
The Titanic
Lusitania.
was super shocking. Then, of course. But I mean, dude, no one saw the John, what's his name? The assassination. No one saw that assassination coming. Was it Garfield who was assassinated? I forget who's the president who was assassinated. Like the first one, wasn't it Garfield? Well, I don't know.
Uh,
Lincoln, of course, but
the first. Well, I mean, there was the duel with Andrew Jackson, where the man
oh,
called
right,
him out, and
yeah,
then he shot him down. I don't think he killed him though. There was Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr.
yes, James A. Garfield. That's it. Yeah, the Garfield assassination. No one saw that coming in 1881. Let me tell you, it was a bit of a shock.
Can you imagine being in the audience when Teddy Roosevelt got shot and then finished his speech?
That son of a bitch. With the speech saved his life.
There's no way I would imagine the vast majority of the crowd had no clue what was going on.
Oh, I'm sure they might have
'Cause
noticed he was a little. They must have said, "Oh, he's a little old. He's forgetting his words," or
yeah, he looks a little
things like that.
peaked or something,
Yeah,
and then it comes out in the news reports that he was shot and was saved by parchment.
the fact that his speech
His
was 50 pages.
Yeah, ridiculously
Like,
thick, and he went on to do like an hour or more of speaking. That's why,
that's them all.
I mean, I on some level, the train stop tour ish era
Yeah.
of politics. Not saying he was on a train, but that type of where you go to a place and you speak for 2 hours. I miss that, and at the
Mhm.
same time, I'm glad I don't have to sit through that.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's a lot to ask of anybody, I think, nowadays.
Well, it's good because they have to express themselves and fully,
Yeah.
illuminate a crowd as to their opinion. So they have to have thought about and have a nuanced understanding of all kinds of different topics. That doesn't mean I want to sit and listen to it, though.
Yeah. But how bad did they not like him that even if he was shot, it didn't end up leading to him being reelected as president? So it's a shame.
Yeah, listen, maybe they didn't know the full story.
It's true.
That's pretty badass. I mean, that gets you elected in today's day and age.
Dude, he talked for 84 minutes after he was shot, blood seeping into his shirt, and it says here that the bullet lodged into his chest muscle, and they just left it there because they thought it would be more detrimental to remove it than to. So he carried that bullet inside of him for the rest of his life. Insane.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy, man.
That is pretty incredible. I remember seeing when that cricketer passed, but I have no understanding of the sport. It was trending on Twitter.
Yes.
To a degree that it was kind of tough to escape. And reading it, I was like, wow, this guy must have been really good at it.
Yeah.
But to me, he looked like, John Daly's cousin. I mean, he was in better shape, but he just looked like a dude that liked to party, and he played cricket.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the fast cricket or the cricket that can take, 2 to 3 days. But
I don't know. I didn't know there was a difference.
I think they're termed different things.
Okay.
Because some cricket matches, like, they take breaks for tea.
Oh, tea, you say?
That's
Oh
my. It's a vestige of when Britain invaded 9 out of 10 countries in the world. That's an actual fact. 9 of the 10 countries that exist in the world, Britain has invaded at one point or another.
The tea, you say?
See, that's, it's former Commonwealths or where it's still big today.
I respect it, man. I respect it.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody sits through it. It's one thing to play it where at least you're engaged.
Oh, yeah. Right. Good point. Yeah.
But how do you sit there for 8 hours or something on day 1 and then come back for day 2?
Yeah. It's a good question, actually.
Yeah, you got to love the ever-loving shit out of that sport. I mean,
man.
How boring is that? Baseball, I go for the food and to shoot the breeze with my friends, and that takes 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, I can't imagine going for like multiple hours to a cricket match. Multiple hours,
Yeah, double a baseball game. No, I couldn't do it. Baseball's already too long and boring for me.
It's true. Unless you're talking playoffs, but even then sometimes with all the pitching switches throughout.
Yeah. But at least there's stakes. Like, you can feel the intensity difference. If it's just a random game in the middle of the season and it takes 4.5 hours, like, this is boring as shit.
It's not a good thing. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, no. But to those that love it, congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. All right. I think that's a good answer to that question. Let's move on to the next one, Matt. What do we got?
Our next one comes from, I'm probably going to butcher this.
Okay.
But Michael Orikar.
Okay.
There's an umlaut over the O and the A in Orikar, and I don't know where you put the inflection on that. But anyway, it says, "Hi, Matt and John, longtime listener, but recently moved up to the $5 tier, and this is my first question to you guys. Oscar snubs is something I like to discuss, and in some cases, I even get a bit upset about. I know, it's a weakness of mine. There's one actress in particular that I can't believe hasn't won an Oscar yet, even though she has been nominated 4 times, and that is Michelle Williams. In my opinion, she should have won 3 times already. The only year I think she didn't deserve to win was when she was up against Natalie Portman in Black Swan, because Natalie was awesome in that role. My question is, do you guys think she should have won in any of the years she was nominated? To make things easier for you, I will include the years and her fellow nominees below. Thank you for taking my question. Michael Orikar from Sweden parenthetically says, yeah, good luck pronouncing my last name.
You could have phonetically put it in there, Michael.
You could have. But is it like Urikar? Yeah, I don't know how you no fucking clue how you pronounce that.
Urikar.
Could be.
Swedish accent there.
I am just going to Anglicanize it and or Anglicanize it. I can't even fucking whatever. It doesn't matter. Orikar is what I'm saying. So 2006, its best performance by an actress in a supporting role. She was up against Rachel Weisz, the Constant Gardener, who won. Amy Adams, Junebug, Catherine Keener, Capote, Frances McDormand, North Country, Michelle Williams, Brokeback Mountain. What say you, sir?
I still think it's Rachel Weisz, and I'll say this because Michelle Williams isn't the central part of the film. She has a couple of really strong moments for sure, but that's also cut up between her and Anne Hathaway. Hathaway has a couple of strong moments as well in that movie. She didn't get nominated, but I think the fact that you've got the both of the wives in the film having distinct memorable moments in the movie, I think kind of undercuts her chances of winning in this situation. And I would actually still give it to Rachel Weisz, then go to Frances McDormand, then Amy Adams, then Michelle, then Catherine Keener, in my personal opinion. So I don't think she wins that one. I think the right person won, because that performance from Weisz and Constant Gardner is fantastic. Matt.
Yeah, I would agree with that, because I think almost the first thing I think of when I think Constant Gardner is her.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Because she's this fleeting idea of what Ray Fiennes thinks, like this idealistic woman, and as he unravels the actual story behind it, the complexion of her character changes over time, and there's just much more there to kind of sink your teeth into as a viewer, as opposed to Michelle Williams. But it's a good point where she has a very similar role to Hathaway's.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I would still take Rachel Weisz in The Constant Gardener 2006. 2011, best performance by an actress in a leading role. He already gave it to Natalie Portman, Black Swan winner. Then there's Annette Bening, The Kids Are All Right, Jennifer Lawrence, Winter's Bone, Michelle Williams, Blue Valentine, Nicole Kidman, Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, this is an odd year, because I mean, I never saw Rabbit Hole. And I saw Natalie Portman, Black Swan. I thought she was good, and obviously, clearly, damn good in that movie. But I kind of was hoping for Jennifer Lawrence in Winter's Bone. I thought she was great in Winter's Bone. So I would say it's a toss-up for me between what Portman did in Black Swan and what Jennifer Lawrence does in Winter's Bone. That being said, though, that Blue Valentine film is like being wrung out and hung outside to dry multiple times. It is an emotionally exhausting film in all the best ways, because the relationship between her and Ryan Gosling in that movie is just fucking powerful and depressing. But she's incredible in the film. So you might have ironically, you might have a stronger case, Michael, for her in 2011 than you would in any of the other ones. Ironically, the one where you give it to Natalie Portman, because I think Michelle Williams gave as good as Natalie gave in Black Swan in Blue Valentine. So I would argue maybe Michelle deserves it for 2011. And I think her performance, if you go back and see Black Swan, you go back and see Michelle Williams in Blue Valentine, I think Michelle Williams' Blue Valentine performance ages better than Portman's in Black Swan, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, but Portman's is the meatier role on some level, just because she's the focus of it and she gets to play dual parts.
Right.
And it's just the voters are going to gravitate towards that more often than not. And I'm kind of glad Jennifer Lawrence didn't win. I think when you're that young, it's good to get nominated. I don't think you should win.
Look at you.
I just think it's great. Prove it. Prove it. It's like Anna Paquin winning at such a young age.
Yeah, that was.
What has she done since?
Right, that comes close to that. No, it's
it's just like I don't know.
That.
But that being said, congratulations.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, 2012, leading actress again. Meryl Streep, The Iron Lady, won. Glenn Close and Albert Nobbs. Michelle Williams in My Week with Marilyn. Rooney Mara, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And Viola Davis, The Help.
This is tough, because I can't believe Albert Nobbs was 10 years ago. Fuck, man. 2, I don't think Meryl Streep should have won for The Iron Lady. I agree with that. I thought it was a good performance, but it wasn't an Oscar-worthy performance. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go with Viola Davis in The Help, to be honest with you. I thought she was the best one of them all. Look, Michelle Williams in My Week with Marilyn, it's my own personal thing, Michael, who sent in this message. It's my own personal thing. I don't think anyone can encapsulate Marilyn. No one.
True.
No one has come close, in my opinion. No one has really grasped the energy of Marilyn. It's not possible. Michelle Williams did a good job, evoking the essence of Marilyn, but she didn't knock it out of the park for me in that movie. And I don't quite she doesn't have that sexuality that Marilyn had. I mean, men fell to their knees in front of that woman. They don't do that for Michelle. And I just don't think she had that energy, that full energy of Marilyn, even as she was doing a good approximation of Marilyn. So for me, it was a weird nomination for me to begin with, and I wouldn't have put her in the conversation, in my opinion, for that. So in the end, I default to Viola Davis in The Help. Even though I think Viola Davis is good in The Help, I don't think it's a standout, insane role. She's because there's so many great women in that movie.
Yeah.
But I think by default, I would give it to Viola Davis. And I don't know what Rooney Mara is doing in this category because that film is good, but nothing she did in that film wasn't what you already saw Noomi Rapace do in the original. So I don't know what she's doing in this movie.
Oh, see, I would go. I'm much kinder about that. I still think that she brought to life a great character. Yeah, the Iron Lady that's a good performance in a mediocre movie. How is that a winner?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was really.
Yeah.
It's because she's
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm fine with that. You've earned the right.
Yeah.
And in a year like that, where I don't think there's a massive standout, that's fine, I guess.
Would you have taken Amy Adams? She wasn't even nominated for The Master. Would you put her up?
I would put her in there over Rooney Mara or probably Michelle Williams or probably Glenn Close.
Yeah.
But that one's more of a supporting, not a leading.
I'm sorry. You're right. That's a good point. What about Naomi Watts in The Impossible? Would you put her up there?
Yes.
Jessica Chastain?
For what? Zero Dark?
No.
Yes.
Oh, maybe I'm misunderstanding. So maybe I should be looking at 2011 best performances, right? Because
I would assume. Yeah.
Let me see here. Go ahead. Keep going, Matt. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's not the 2012 nominations?
Right. It's the 2011 nominations for the 2012 award. Those are always the confusing things in my mind.
Yeah, I just go by the year they give them out. So they listed as the 2012. Okay, so then we're talking about 2012.
Yeah.
It's just easier that way.
Yeah, Jessica Chastain still 2011. Zero Dark 30 came out in 2011. Is that correct? No, it came out in 2012. No, so that's an odd thing. Okay, Emily, go ahead.
Well, that would be a 13 then.
What about My Week with Marilyn? Did that come out in 12? See, that's 2011. So it's a very confusing list. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, so I think that's it's an okay year, which happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like Best Picture this year. Or the Green Book year. I'm not really blown away by a lot of these choices.
Yeah.
Although I thoroughly enjoyed Coda, and I thought,
Coda was
of
good.
what's being nominated there, I'm fine with that one taking it.
Yeah.
Anything is better than Power of the Dog.
How dare you? How dare you?
That movie's boring as shit.
Oh my God.
It's boring as shit. And there's no way you can justify that little twist at the end after having sat through 2 hours of monotony for that. You're like, okay.
For that.
It's just ridiculous. The only good thing came out of it is Lon Harris posted arguably my favorite joke of the past couple of months on Twitter, thanks to that movie.
What did he say?
Well, it was Elon Musk when he's got the cowboy hat on and the shades from like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And he just put out the only known picture of Bronco Henry. And I was like, that's a great fucking joke. That is a great fucking good for you.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny those.
Yeah, that's the best thing to me that's come out of that movie is a joke at its expense.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. So his final year, then I'll just go ahead and move on to that. 2017.
Good.
Performance in a supporting role. Viola Davis for Fences was the winner. Michelle Williams, Manchester by the Sea. Naomi Harris, Moonlight. Nicole Kidman, Lion. Octavia Spencer, Hidden Figures.
Yeah. I agree with Michael's characterization here, and I also think this was a bit of a makeup for Viola because a lot of people felt she should have won in 2012. People were very upset that she didn't win because she'd been winning on all the Critics' Choice Awards, like all of them leading up to that Oscar thing. I did like Michelle Williams in Manchester by the Sea. I really did. But to be fair, there was only two really strong scenes with her when she realizes what happened to the kids, and then when she has the confrontation with Casey later in the movie, in the alley or wherever, which is really devastating. Just a devastating confrontation. But I don't know that she did enough to win for me in that as a supporting role overall. But I just sorry, I guess I misread what Michael said here. Because I think Viola is a supporting role. I don't think she is the lead. Denzel is the lead, and the kid and the son. Those are the kind of co-leads in the movie. Viola is a supporting role for sure, but I do still think it was a makeup. Um, I actually might default to Nicole Kidman or Naomi Harris. Maybe even Naomi, giving her a slight edge over Nicole Kidman, because I really liked Moonlight, and I liked what Naomi did in Moonlight, and I think Naomi is an unrecognized, absolutely stellar talent. Like, she should be getting Oscars at the level that the great ones get Oscars, because that woman is absolutely phenomenal in just about everything she's ever in. And so, ironically, I would say I would give her the edge, probably then maybe Nicole Kidman, then Michelle, then Viola, and then Octavia Spencer. It would be my rundown on that situation.
Yeah. And I didn't read that. Parenthetically, he said Viola was great, but I think this was a leading role, not a supporting. That's why I think Williams should have won this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, Kidman's part is small, but it's pretty impactful.
Yes, agreed.
And I think Lion is great. If you've never seen Lion,
Yeah.
it's an amazing story. It's based on a true story about a kid that gets separated from his family in India and then is adopted by an Australian family, and then he goes on the search for his village and to find his family
Yeah.
again. And it's a good one. For the movies alone, I guess I would put Kidman up there because I like that better than the others.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, Moonlight, the third act killed me.
Okay.
I don't mind you hooking up with the dude, but at least punch him in the mouth first.
What he did to you.
Yes. It's fine that you share this, secret, this bond together, but he also hung you out to dry and made your life a living hell. At least punch him in the fucking mouth once. And I think if he is who you think he is, it'd be like, I deserve that. That's fair.
Yeah, true.
And then you move on. I don't know. Going straight to where they end up. I watching it, I was like, oh, come on, punch him. And then do whatever you're going to do. But Jesus,
Yeah, yeah.
something. But yeah, that's another interesting year.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's some good choices for sure in those years. So, I mean, but I take Michael's point. Listen, we all have our actors or actresses that we cheer for, that we support. And so, like, we think their work kind of stands a cut above. And so that's, kind of the subjective nature of acting and directing and all of that. So in no way, if just because we didn't 100% agree with you, Michael, doesn't mean your opinions are any less valid. You've got your feeling about it, and certainly you could probably make a case for each one of your picks and your beliefs in these years. But there's some great people that she was going up against, some fantastic talents. She wasn't losing out to some middle of the road talents. So
yeah, and it's a testament to her ability that she keeps putting out work and material that is in consideration, gets nominated. It shows that she's choosing good projects, great projects, and delivering when asked.
Yeah.
So you kind of assume she'll eventually get hers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because she's not also a flash in the pan actress. Michelle will be acting for quite some time. And will get her moment to kind of get that Oscar as well. And listen, it's incredible to think that she's the one that came out of Dawson's Creek. I mean, it's just kind of crazy because I kind of had a feeling that it would be Katie initially, then maybe Vanderbeek, but then she just kind of slowly did her thing, step by step, piece by piece, and now she's the one that's really the standout actress of that crew. And so I never thought Joshua Jackson was going to go anywhere. So I mean, just incredible to see what she's been able to do, So.
Yeah, of the two guys, I thought Joshua Jackson had the chance.
Really? Okay.
I didn't watch the show.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never seen a second of it. I've seen the trailer stuff that they would play to try and entice you to watch the show. But I mean, it was geared towards a younger generation. Because that came out, like 2000, 2001, somewhere in that ballpark?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm in my early 20s, and that's made for teenagers.
It's true.
But it's early CW programming. So they have a distinct demographic that they're going for at all times. But yeah, and I didn't even know Michelle Williams was on it until I started seeing her in movies, and people said, "Oh, she's from Dawson's Creek," and I was like, "Oh wow, I know the three of Katie Holmes,
Right.
Josh Jackson, and Vanderbeek, but I never thought Vanderbeek had a real shot, to be honest."
Wow. All right. I don't want your laugh.
That's I saw Varsity Blues. Vanderbeek didn't have it to me.
You don't got it, kid. You don't got it. I don't believe in you. All right. Well, there we go. Thank you so much for that question there, Michael. Thank you also for the question, Timothy. That pretty much consumed our time on this episode of Topic Thunder. We appreciate it, man. And thanks to all the patrons who've been sending in stuff. You know, you're $5 and above. Send in your questions, thoughts, and comments. We want to answer them here on the show. So it's our way of saying thank you for being a patron and giving you some more content in exchange and shouting you out as a patron of our Top 10 show for sure, Matt.
And you guys heard the call, and we have quite a few in the hopper, but that does not mean we want you to stop. So if you have any more, because we'd rather see nice double-digit healthy amount in there at all times. And when it gets down to like 7, 8, you start going, "Hey guys, please send us some more." Well, because that's only 7 or 8. That could be 4 shows. That could be 2 shows, depending on what the questions are.
Very true.
And right now, it looks like we've got enough for like 5, 6, maybe 7 shows.
Yeah.
And that's good. And we appreciate that. But please keep sending them in. So there's an email address over there at patreon.com/the top 10 that is only for you individuals. So please send us whatever you'd like us to talk about. And you can do that over there. And you can follow the show on Twitter at Top 10 Show or on Instagram and YouTube. It is /the Top 10 Podcast. And so hit us up over there, and you can follow me anywhere at Matt Nost.
You can follow me at The Rocha Says. All right, y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. We'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.